Hi everyone, today we will be reading this book called Giraffe. Meet the giraffe. Giraffes are the tallest animals on Earth. They were once found over most of Africa, but now live only south of the Sahara Desert. They are sociable animals that live together in loose herds in open woodlands. Giraffe facts. Male giraffes are known as bulls and can grow up to 18 feet tall at head height. Females are known as cows and grow up to 15 feet tall. Males weigh up to 4,255 pounds, while females weigh up to 2,600 pounds. The Latin name for the giraffe is Giraffe camelopardalis. The word camelopardalis comes from an old name for giraffes, camel leopards, because they are shaped like camels and have the spots of leopards. The word giraffe comes from the Arabic word zirafa, which means fast walker. And this is a diagram of a giraffe. Habitat. Giraffes live in dry grasslands that contain a large number of trees or woodlands. They never wander far into forests or true deserts, but are found in very arid areas. The broken light brown pattern of a giraffe's coat is excellent camouflage. When standing completely still amongst the dappled shadows of a tree, a giraffe can be surprisingly difficult to spot. Relatives. Giraffes are members of the family known as Giraffidae, which contains only one other species, the okapi. The okapi is a shy animal that lives in the rainforests of the Congo Basin in Central Africa. It looks a bit like a giraffe with a much shorter neck. Very little is known about the behavior of wild okapis. The rainforest is so thick that they are extremely difficult to study. Okapis are hunted by the Pygmy tribes that live in Central Africa, so they have learned to fear humans. Like their taller cousins, okapi have very sensitive eyes, ears, and noses. They are quick to detect the presence of people and usually disappear into the forest long before they are seen. Pattern. No two giraffes are identical. Each has its own unique set of stripes and spots. The pattern is as distinctive as a fingerprint and stays with the giraffe throughout its life. This makes it easy for scientists to follow and study individual giraffes. The markings of all giraffes grow darker as they get older. Unique height. A giraffe's incredibly long legs and necks allow them to feed on leaves high in the treetops, where few other animals can reach. They may be taller than any living animal, but giraffes still have 7 vertebrae or bones in their neck. This is exactly the same number as most other mammals, including humans. However, each individual vertebrae is very long. Put together, they produce a tall column, which allows giraffes to feed high above the ground. Giraffes have a very high blood pressure because of their unique height. Since the head is much higher than the heart, giraffes' hearts have to work very hard, pushing blood up to the brain, into the brain. They pump 19 gallons of blood every minute. The heart needs to be huge and powerful to keep up this work throughout an entire lifetime. The head is so high that gravity keeps trying to pull the blood downwards. Giraffes have a series of special valves in their necks to stop the blood draining away. Without these valves, oxygen would not reach the brain and the giraffe will faint. A giraffe is born. As she gets ready to give birth, a heavily pregnant female giraffe moves away from the main herd, looking for a quiet spot. Inside her, a calf has been growing for about 15 months. Like most giraffes, she prefers to give birth in one of the calving grounds that have probably been used by hundreds of others in the past. These areas are dotted around the grassland and look identical to the surrounding countryside. But for some reason, giraffes always return to the same place. Many females remain faithful to one spot each time they give birth. The birth itself takes between 1 and 2 hours. The female does not make matters easy for the calf because she gives birth standing up. The calf's arrival into the world is followed by a 7-foot drop onto the hard ground. But since its bones are still soft, the young calf is not hurt by the fall. The female immediately starts licking the youngster, as well as cleaning the fur. This close contact helps the mother memorize the scent of her calf. From that moment on, she will recognize her calf by its smell, even amongst a herd of other young giraffes. Giving birth. On average, female giraffes give birth to one calf every 20 months. Twins are extremely rare. A female may produce up to 12 calves during her lifetime, but 8 is the average. First steps. Newborn giraffes can stand after just 20 minutes. By instinct, the calf nuzzles its mother's teats and begins to suckle. At first, its legs are wobbling and often collapse under its body weight. The first few hours are the most vulnerable stage of the calf's life because it cannot run away from predators. Newborn calves are at risk of lions, cheetahs, hyenas, hunting dogs, leopards, and crocodiles, but the calf quickly learns to walk and can run within a few hours. Female giraffes are very protective and will defend calves against any approaching predator. They attack enemies with the powerful kicks that can kill a fully grown lion. But even with this careful protection, 50% of giraffe calves die in the first 6 months of life. Giraffe calves. A newborn calf may be 6.2 feet tall and weigh 225 pounds. Young males can grow up to 3 inches a month and will double their size within the first 2 years. Safety in numbers. The mother and her calf remain alone for about 10 days, allowing the calf to grow stronger and improve its running skills before returning to the rest of the herd. At first, the young calf tries to stay close to its mother, but When she wanders off to look for food, it joins a group of other young giraffes for protection. Early warning system. The calf may only be 2 weeks old, but already it is one of the tallest animals on the African plains. A group of calves together can watch every part of the landscape. They will notice a predator creeping in for an ambush quicker than a single calf. This extra few minutes of warning gives the calves a chance to escape. Young calves alone are much easier prey for predators to catch and kill. When its mother returns from feeding, the calf eagerly darts beneath her to take a long drink of milk. Calves try eating leaves for the first time when they're around 4 months old. However, they will also drink their mother's milk until they're about 15 months old. Learning to survive. The calf spends much of its first few months playing, running around its mother and chasing other calves. This exercise helps it develop the calf's muscles and senses, and lets it learn about the other giraffes who will share its life in the future. As the calf explores its surroundings, it also learns about the animals that live alongside the herd. Small grazing animals such as gazelles stay close to giraffes and to take advantage of their early warning system. The giraffe's high viewpoint and sharp eyesight help it spot predators at once, and their sudden nervous behavior will alert all nearby animals to the approaching danger. Friends and enemies. Flies are a never-ending irritation to the young calf. They constantly hover around its face, taking moisture from its mouth and the corners of its eyes. Tsetse flies pierce the calf's thick skin, using sharp parts in their mouths to drink its blood. Luckily, the calf has the help of small birds called oxpeckers, which hop about on its back and neck, eating the flies and ticks. But oxpeckers can also cause problems. If the calf has a slight graze on its skin, the birds are likely to peck at the wound to drink the blood, making the wound worse. Scratching. Biting insects such as flies, making the calf itchy, but its body shape makes it difficult to scratch itself. Instead, the calf learns to rub itself against trees to ease the itching. Running away. The calf must always keep a sharp eye out for predators. At the first sign of danger, it will try and hide behind its mother. But if she is far away when a predator appears, the calf can run surprisingly fast. Calves have much shorter legs than adult giraffes, but they can move more quickly. Fully grown giraffes are too heavy to sprint from a standing start, while the lighter calves find it easier to dash off quickly when they feel threatened. When running or galloping, giraffes swing their back legs forward first, following by their front legs. Their legs work differently when walking. Unlike most four-legged animals, which move one front leg together with the opposite back leg at the same time, giraffes walk by moving both legs on one side and then both legs on the other side. This produces a swaying movement, but it helps giraffes keep their balance and stops them falling over. Giraffes are one of the few mammals that cannot swim at all. Their unique body design makes it impossible. They have relatively small feet supporting an enormous weight, so they cannot even walk across mud without sinking. For this reason, giraffes very rarely try to cross rivers. Galloping. Giraffes can gallop at speeds of over 34 miles per hour. Dangerous sleep. People once believed that giraffes never sleep because giraffes usually sleep standing up. This made them appear to be awake. Giraffes can sleep lying down, but they rarely do, since getting up is a slow business and makes them vulnerable to attack by lions. So they usually sleep standing up for short periods. Giraffes need little sleep and seem to exist on just 4 hours a night. When tired and surrounded by the protection of other giraffes, the calf will sometimes lie down with its legs tucked underneath. It sleeps with its head curled around, resting on the flat part of its back, close to the tail, but it only stays like this for just a few minutes before waking up. When they're about 4 years old, male calves leave their mother and join a group of other males who they will stay with until fully grown. Young female giraffes do not leave their mothers. Even as adults, they never stray far from her territory. Giraffe noises. Giraffes were once thought to be completely silent, but they do sometimes use their voice. Calves have a sheep-like bleat when they are lost or frightened. Bulls can produce harsh coughs and grunts when preparing to mate. Finding food. Giraffes are too tall to eat plants from the ground, so they have to eat leaves growing at the level of their head or above. This is known as browsing. Adult giraffes eat fresh leaves growing in the tops of trees. The young giraffe has no difficulties finding food since there are trees dotted all around the plains. But until they are fully grown, young giraffes are often forced to separate from the adults because they cannot reach the tall trees where the adults feed. They must find lower branches, usually on smaller trees. Male and female giraffes have very different ways of feeding. Bulls, male giraffes, stretch their necks as high as possible and push their heads upwards to reach the highest leaves. Cows prefer to put their heads above the branches and eat leaves beneath their chin. Since bulls are much taller, they take leaves that are too high for the cows. This avoids competition for food, even when a bull and cow are feeding from the same tree.